So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke.
As you heard, Adam22, along with his company, No Jumper, is losing a bunch of money. And it's purely because of the terrible business decisions that he's made. Like some of the staff he hired getting arrested and basically a huge RICO charge, along with 2 staff members currently suing him right now. And some of the personal decisions that he's made with people looking at him differently and not even wanting to support his platform anymore because of it. But don't worry, because I'm gonna dive into everything that happened and all the reasons why No Jumper is failing. But in order to do that, we had to start from the very beginning with who even is Adam22.
Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Today we're here with
XXX Tentacion.
Adam22 was a well-known podcaster in like the 2015 to 2019 era with a bunch of rappers. He was getting a ton of hype and basically was being the underground news outlet for a bunch of these upcoming rappers. A lot of people would go on this podcast known as No Jumper to talk and have interviews with him, and it seemed like this format was unbeatable. A bunch of rappers wanted to come on Adam's platform and even use it to promote who they are, their new sound, the music, anything. Within the new growth Adam was seeing, he decided to hire more people to help him with everything that he was doing. It seemed like he was trying to turn No Jumper into like a Barstool type brand, expanding in all types of ways. Instead of just doing interviews with rappers, he would do interviews with anybody that was hot. That happened to be a criminal, a new internet personality, it didn't matter. He would try and get a hold of them.
No Jumper,
hey,
coolest podcast in the world.
The biggest turtle, man. Aaron the plumber, you just did me a favor by tapping in, man.
Facts.
But with more people, more money was needed in order to pay these people, and it seemed like Adam was barely scraping by, and because of that, he decided that he needed to expand his platform in different ways. He couldn't keep just doing interviews with the newest criminal out, the newest rapper out, because that wasn't cutting it. So he decided to try and capitalize off a new industry.
We will give you $1 million to leave him and come shoot for us / babysit.
He would tap into the adult film industry, basically becoming the internet's biggest cuck, at least to everybody else's eyes, because his wife, who he had recently married to, he was basically showing her off and offering anyone to film scenes with her for any amount of cash. He was leaning into this so much that he made a whole fake type of reality show where he would have 7-ish contestants compete to see who could be with his wife.
the person who's gonna my wife is Lil D.
Stop playing with me.
Hey, my boy.
All right, bro.
Should we go upstairs right now?
I'm with it. I don't give a
Let's do it.
boy, the things I'm gonna do to you.
Oh, I'm excited.
This is gonna be the night of your hey, we're not on camera yet. Okay.
Wait, hold up, my bad.
He just won. Let him touch it.
I gotta be the husband of the year. Let me tell you, I am the one.
This would ruin his reputation online because no matter what Adam did, no matter what interview he had, no matter what show he was putting on or how serious it may be, people would just constantly roast him and talk bad about him because of things like this. And I'm assuming that took the biggest hit to not only his reputation but also his brand as a whole, with him losing a lot of money to the point where he wanted to try and put on a crypto scheme in order to make some of that money back. He tried to launch his own coin, which didn't end up working at all, in order to scam his fans allegedly, and I'm assuming that crypto scheme wasn't enough, which is why we have this video from No Jumper's page now titled No Jumper is Going Broke.
So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. I know that might sound crazy. Between both of our YouTube channels last month, we got over 25 million views. We're doing well on Facebook and Snapchat. We employ quite a few of the hottest content creators on the West Coast, and we pump out an insane amount of content on a weekly basis. 25
million views is numbers I could only dream of. That amount of views with ad revenue is a ton of money. You're looking well past 6 figures. And that's only with YouTube AdSense. You can only imagine what his ad deals are looking like, along with his Facebook deals or any other place he might be making money like Instagram and Snapchat. But all of that money doesn't just directly go to him, because he also employs people, along with has a warehouse where he films and does a lot of his content, and that's gonna take a large portion of his revenue.
How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue. And unfortunately, that did not happen.
$4 million office building. I don't want to be disrespectful to Adam in his business sense, but you do just mainly film podcasts. I feel like a $4 million office building seems a little bit overkill. Maybe that's just my bad thinking, but it seems pretty insane to do that. Along with the fact that he's going off of COVID numbers, which would make sense that your numbers would increase. If everybody has no choice but to stay inside the house, they're going to constantly consume more and more content. And this wasn't just for Adam, this is for basically any online business, influencer, anything that happened to be online. Of course, their revenue streams are going to increase a lot. And the same thing happened to all of them. When the C9 started to end and more people could go outside, they were going to be consuming as much content as they did. So obviously your numbers are going to go back down to what they normally were before any of that happened.
Our YouTube numbers, which had doubled or even tripled, gradually returned to normal. Our Snapchat and Facebook numbers, which had exploded during COVID, sometimes even hitting 6 figures a month, shrank by about 80% or more.
Getting around 100 grand a month all the way down to around 20 grand is some insane decrease. But again, we're talking about COVID numbers, so it makes sense that it would go back down because not everybody is locked up in their house anymore, so they're not just gonna sit there and consume your content.
Our Patreon, which was absolutely killing it for a year or two when we were doing uncensored, aka nude interviews with up-and-coming superstars like Kazumi and Sky Bree, fell off quite a bit with the launch of Plug Talk and a decreased interest in seeing us interview stars.
Now, this might be a hot take, but I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say that people that are interested in prawn are not also gonna be interested in watching prawn stars go on podcasts, mainly because I highly doubt they care about what their personality is or why they started doing prawn in the first place. That's not even a part of their concerns in the slightest. And at some point, that content has to feel repetitive because it's just the same thing. New woman, but this time, guys, her top is off for the 70th time. I mean, just keep putting your money up and paying for it. Trust me, you'll love it.
In addition to that, you might recall that the channel took quite a hit when approximately 8 of our hosts left the platform in March of 2023. Although we've definitely largely recovered and managed to build up a very healthy roster of talent since then, that certainly took a toll on our business for a while as well. All that stuff hurt the business, but we were still solidly profitable. That is, until the last few months where we experienced 2 major L's that we never could have seen coming. First, we lost the No Jumper Instagram. After almost 10 years of building it up and essentially no strikes on our account, we got taken down one day and we still have absolutely no idea why. We've had no luck getting it back despite being in contact with what seems like every Instagram recovery guy on the face of the planet. We were bringing in a very solid amount of cash monthly that was keeping us afloat via selling sponsored posts on the account, and that mostly vanished overnight. And while we've been growing the new No Jumper LA account up ever since and managing to sell sponsored collab posts using my Instagram, we aren't making anywhere near as much from Instagram now.
Not to throw hate their way, but I honestly never understood the hype of sponsored posts, at least when it comes to artists, because paying somebody to just put your music up there isn't really helping too much. Nowadays, most people will probably hop on TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and start a trend there because, in my opinion, it makes sense, and I don't want to spread any type of misinformation. But what a lot of people on Twitter, YouTube comment sections, places like that are saying his account got banned for, is really because of botting that was apparently happening. Again, I don't know if that's true, but that's the alleged reason for why the account got banned in the first place. And taking a hit like that with every other revenue source already going down and now one disappearing, it would make sense why Adam would probably be frustrated or even going a little insane because he can't seem to stop losing money.
And second, in addition to that, we have been hit with a bullshit lawsuit from a former employee. Now, essentially everything in this lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but it still cost us a ton of money already, and it's expected to cost us many hundreds of thousands of dollars to see this through to completion. It's insane to me that a person that we did so much for can just invent some grievances out of thin air and cost us this much money as a result. This person has literally lost every single friend that he used to have when he worked at No Jumper. His streaming career has completely tanked, and he even got kicked off the podcast that he left No Jumper to start, but somehow that's our reality, and we have to fight this rather than just give in to this piece of shit.
That is a lot of money to be throwing out on a lawsuit that apparently, according to Adam, isn't even true. But you gotta imagine what they're alleging to, because for that to be that much money, it has to be something serious. And on some articles, they do talk about it, saying that the reason for the lawsuit is purely because of discrimination, sexual harassment, and wrongful termination. With the complex article verbatim saying, in January, Adam addressed the lawsuit, which at the time also involved from No Jumper employee Riley Garcia. In addition to misconduct, the two alleged wrongful termination, and Garcia also accused No Jumper of sexual harassment. This is some serious allegations, and it makes sense why Adam would want to fight it instead of just giving in and giving a settlement, because No Jumper has a pretty shady history and there were a lot of wild things that went on behind the scenes. So if he was to give in to this one person and just give in a settlement, there could be a lot more people coming in alleging a bunch of things that happened, and he would just continuously set a precedent of, oh, I'm just gonna pay you out if you accuse me of something crazy.
So as a result of all these circumstances, we are making some changes. Over the last few months, we laid off multiple employees in an attempt to reduce our expenses as much as possible. We closed down our store on Melrose, and we're in the early stages of selling our current warehouse and moving into a smaller space. To be honest, aside from the layoffs, which sucked, I'm pretty happy about a lot of these changes. I've realized that I should have paid more attention to DJ Vlad and kept my overhead as low as possible, particularly in terms of staff and location. I'm confident that once we get the building sold, we'll be in a pretty solid financial position again as a business. Oh, and I also just want to note that I am talking about No Jumper as a business. I've got another business in the form of Plug Talk, and I've got a pretty decent investment portfolio on a personal level.
I'm not really surprised the building that he bought just turned into a complete money drainer, along with the fact that it's not really going to be him that's taking the financial hit. Obviously, it's just going to be his company, No Jumper, and not really Adam. He still has a bunch of money, and I don't see them coming after any of his personal assets or trying to sue Adam22 personally.
So I know you're thinking, what can you do to help? Well, I do have some ideas, which I'll sort into 3 categories here: free, cheap, and generous. Free. Obviously, I'm infinitely thankful to anyone who watches our content at all, follows us on the @NoJumperLA Instagram, and in particular, those of you who drop likes and comments on our videos and Instagram posts. In the long run, that stuff is super helpful. Cheap. We are really trying to get serious about embracing our members here on YouTube. For $5 a month, we've got a ton of awesome benefits, including being able to watch all of our interviews free of censorship and bleeped words before they're released to the public. Members only chat for all of our live stream content, and we're just going to be prioritizing a lot of our most requested content and trying to do that live for members only. So for any of you who are down to spend $5 a month to help support the business, we're just going to try to keep adding more and more stuff to make that an easy decision for you guys who are down to support.
Both of the options he just talked about seem pretty nice. I mean, I don't see a lot of people really embracing YouTube membership because, I mean, it's kind of weird to even pay for someone's content when most of it is free. But when you want to spend a little extra money to help your favorite content creator, I understand it, and it makes a lot of sense, especially when the price is only $5 and all the free options, just supporting them makes sense. Where I feel like Adam started losing the plot is when he starts talking about this stuff.
And for those of you who have more money to spend, we're introducing a mega premium $100 tier to our memberships that will get your name added to the end of all our videos, and it will also get you consistent advice and opinions on your music submissions with 1 free submission per month and discounted additional songs. Basically, we're just trying to do as much as possible for anybody who's down to join this tier. So we're going to hype you up on our live streams and try to like really give you actual professional advice about what we think that you should do with your career and everything like that. And, you know, we're going to try to add even more value for that $100 tier as time goes by.
$100 to have your music critiqued by Adam and his crew just seems outrageous to me, because who is really about to critique this music, and who is really about to pay $100 as a rapper who's already trying to come up, probably already struggling with money as it is, to just have Adam play your music and probably not really give you too much of advice? Honestly, you're better off taking that $100 and just putting it into yourself with studio time, even taking that $100 and trying to promote yourself on like TikTok with a viral dance trend. That seems more profitable and a better use of your money, in my opinion. Now, Adam needing money isn't something that should be laughed at and something that actually should be taken seriously, but because of the reputation money built online, no one is honestly taking any of this seriously and just clowning him, calling him crazy because you're already a millionaire and literally already told us financially you're okay, but yet begging a bunch of people to help you with no jumper. And in my eyes, no jumper had already fallen off and become a shell of what it used to be. Not even saying I was the biggest no jumper fan, but if they had an interview with a rapper I liked or even talking about something that I found interesting, I would want to see what they had to say. But nowadays, it's literally not anything like what it used to be back in the day. And I'm not even surprised that they're taking this financial hit. And hopefully, I mean, it does pull together. I don't want to see anyone's downfall. But with all the things he explained, I'm literally not surprised. A lawsuit coupled with the fact that you expanded at the worst possible time only makes sense that you're going to enter an insane downfall. And with the already immense hate Adam has, I doubt anybody even cares, as I've seen online. They really don't, or would even want to help him in any way, shape, or form. At least that's how I feel. But if you want to tell me how you feel, the best place to do that would be the comment section down below, because this video is unfortunately over. But if you did enjoy this video, maybe consider giving it a like, and if you enjoy content like this, maybe consider subscribing, because I post like this every single week and you'll never miss out on a single upload if you hit that bell icon, because you'll be notified the millisecond a video goes live. But that's enough for me. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out.